Hello. Okay. Sorry, my mic was not working. Hello, Robin. Oh, okay. Hello, everyone. We're going to do an interview with Miss Robin. Hello. How are you? Can you hear
Fine.
me?
Can you hear me?
Yep. Perfect.
Okay, because I hadn't got to test my mic yet.
Oh, you sound really good. You're coming through clear. So, how you doing today?
I'm good.
Good. Um, I had yesterday. I was like just trying to trigger people, with the title of the video, the witch craft.
Oh,
But I
yeah,
am super interested in that stuff. So, um, I seen you yesterday saying that you wanted to come in and talk about it, a little bit about your experience and what you have experienced anyway.
yeah.
So yeah. So, when did you, do you want to just get started? I don't know. I thought Big Bad Mama was going to come too, but
Yeah, if you
no.
want to give her a few minutes, I need to go let my dog in just a minute. She wouldn't come in before I let her out right before I come on stream. So I might have to jump up and let her out. Let her back in a minute.
All
But
right.
um,
Um, yeah, it's up to you if you want to do that, and we'll, wait for, Big Bad
hi,
Mama, or if
gangster.
you want to just get started. Yeah, that's what I was gonna do. I was gonna say hi to him too. Hello, Gangster Ghost. Is it okay if people come in, or do you want to just
It,
talk
it,
first and then let them in?
it's whatever you want to do. It's your show.
Okay. All right.
You're in charge.
Well, your name is on the title, so
You're
I
still in
changed
charge
it.
though.
All right. So if you want to come in, Logan, you can. The link is out there, unless somebody else is streaming, and yeah, they like to, I guess, have multiple streams going at once. But so you said magic with a K, right?
Yeah, that's kind of how a lot of the witches will spell it that way to try to differentiate it from like magic shows. You know, you
Okay.
know, you know. They don't want to be as and I'm not going. I don't usually ever really say much about witches about like to them about not believing that anymore. But I'm a skeptic now. So, but because I really like the community, and so there's a lot of people that I don't know. I just kind of have a soft spot for them.
Yeah.
They get a hard
Yeah.
rap.
So when you did it, it didn't work, or like what made you a skeptic?
Um, I thought it did. Yes, I like a lot of. I think like a lot. Once I became a skeptic, I had to take my skepticism and put it to a lot of my beliefs. And anytime you do that, you find out that there's a lot of um, bias. You have a lot of bias. Things that happen, you will count the hits and not the misses, and so you'll remember the things that you think when it worked, but you don't really focus on the ones where it actually didn't. You know, and I can't say that it's not real. I just don't believe it anymore. I mean, I can't prove it's not real, but I once I applied skepticism to it, I realized that I was counting all the times that things would happen that I thought you know backed up my beliefs. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, yeah, I think so. Um, so
Um, I
what
can't
got you
even.
started in it?
I'm dumbfounded right now. I can't even think of the word. Cognitive bias. No, it's not right. That's dissonance. Um, confirmation bias. That's what I'm trying to think of. Confirmation bias,
Oh,
and
okay.
and
Yeah,
it's like just about anytime you believe something, you already believe it. Anything that happens that supports that belief, it will strengthen that belief. and then you tend not to look at the things that don't support that belief. The
Yeah.
thing, like the times that I've done spells or something and never nothing happened, or the times that those kind of things. Just anything, any kind of belief. It doesn't have to even be a supernatural belief. Just any kind of belief that you have politically or anything. You will accept the things into your mind that support your belief, and you will kind of reject the things that don't.
Yeah,
And
kind of
it's
like prayer. Like if you pray for something and it doesn't happen, it's like, oh well, we'll just that was not in God's will. But then if you pray and it works, it's like it's kind of strengthens
yeah,
that. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Well,
yeah,
that's
and,
cool.
and and they've done studies on prayer actually. You know, um, on it. The Templeton Foundation. He was a Christian who left a lot of money. He spent a lot of through science trying to find God, and he left like I don't know how much money, but they had a lot of money. They still give out money a lot for if you have like some kind of scientific test you're going to do or something like that. They do all kinds of stuff like that. The
Oh,
Templeton Foundation, and because he they did a prayer, test study on prayer.
oh, that's cool. I wonder what happened. Like, what? How did
Well,
that
I
come
can
out?
tell you, it came out that it does about the same as chance. And
Oh,
actually, the people who knew they were being prayed for, who were believers, actually did worse. Like it was like they were in the hospital. I don't remember all the details, but they were people who were sick and hospital and stuff. And it was like the people who knew they were being prayed for and they were in the hospital sick, they actually would just kind of not even try to get well. They were expecting it to just happen for them, I guess, is what
yeah,
that's it say show. So
that makes sense.
intercessory. It's Templeton Foundation intercessory prayer study.
Huh?
Anybody can look it up. It's on there,
Yeah, I'm
and
gonna
it
look
was
that up.
it's a believer group that did the study. So
Yeah, and you said it was the Templeton. Well,
Templeton Foundation, yeah.
okay. Yeah, I'm
Prayer
gonna
on
look that.
study on intercessory prayer.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna check that out for sure.
Which I mean, nothing like that's 100%. I mean that's a group. Just that's a sample group. But
Yeah. Well, it's still cool to know somebody's out there doing that, like at least trying. I don't know if they're like,
they fund lots of stuff. They do the Templeton Foundation. They fund. I mean, if you seriously now they're serious. You know, scientists though. They want real science stuff, but they do fund that kind of stuff.
yeah. Huh. Well, that's cool. Um, so when did you get started in using magic? Like what gave you the inspiration? Hi, Mark Reed.
Well, I grew up Christian, but I never believed in hell. I've never believed in hell. I mean, I just never thought it made any sense at all. So I always kind of rejected that. Then I got to where that it was really hard to put the suffering and you know the where is he at to me. So anyway, I stayed away from Christianity or any kind of religion for a long time, and then I know me and you talked about it. I had a fellow. I mean, you talked about it before
Yeah.
that um, I lost my mind over for a little while, and he left me, and I was laying at my boss's house in the chair getting ready to leave for work, and I had like my YouTube on, and some kind of thing came up for twin flames. I don't know if you know what those are, but it's some kind of new age stuff about like soulmates, sort of. It's
Yeah.
reincarnation stuff, and it just all clicked. Everything sounded just what I mean. And I was like, this is when I decided this is this. So I actually went out and I talked my boss into fronting me for my money, my paycheck, $700, and I bought a spell from a woman and had her cast this spell. Well, actually, I cast the spell. She did too, but then She told me what all I had to do, and I had to go out and sit under the full moon and draw this pinnacle on a piece of paper, and put these flower rose petals and salt in the middle, and sit there and concentrate. And I had to do this like just every time I could get. The more times I would do it, she said, the stronger it would make the spell.
Oh.
And this is what the confirmation buys the first time is. It's supposed to take like 30 to 45 days because it's like a one full moon cycle or whatever. And he came back like almost identical to the day that she said he would.
Wow.
And so there I was strong. I mean, I was convinced that that magic was real. I mean, I was so convinced of it. And then I decided, though, after he left again, and that time I decided I couldn't afford $700 spells, so I was going to have to learn to do it myself.
Oh.
And that time I did one. I did a whole lot more for like 7 months. I did it, and he came back after 7 months, and it was like I knew exactly what day he was going to come back and everything. It was another dose of confirmation bias.
Wow.
But yes, yeah. It was. I mean, if somebody had tried to tell me then that magic didn't work, I would have never believed them. I would have never. I would have argued with them to the day I
So
died. I
was it a
guess.
love spell or
Yes.
something? Or oh,
Yes.
okay. Yeah, I heard those are really dangerous. Actually, like it can, I guess they can backfire or something. And I don't know
Well,
though. I never
that's what
heard it.
that's what I'll, and from now on I'll talk about this stuff like just like I did when I was doing it. Okay, you know what I mean? Because that way I don't sit here and say all that stuff all over and over. But yeah, love spells. What the reason why they're considered that is because they're manipulative. You know, they're you're you're uh, you're influencing somebody's free will.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, you are whenever you're influencing somebody's free will in witchcraft terms. That is now not all witches believe that. I mean, there's so many different witches like Wicca. They are just like earth witches. Some of them have gods and goddesses like they'll worship like the deer, the stag, and the goddess, which is just the earth. You know, pretty much and they Wicca doesn't do spells that influence any kind of free will. That's against their creed. They have a creed that's like the Wiccan creed that you're not allowed. You know, you can do like prosperity spells or spells for just about anything else, beauty spells, but you cannot do anything that influences the because they believe in the backfiring and it comes back actually times three.
Yep.
And so,
Yeah.
but then there's a whole lot. I mean, there's so many witches that don't go on that. Um, there's witches from Scotland and Ireland and all that right there. There's Celtic witches. There's druids. But just about everybody. And then the other day you said voodoo, and there's hoodoo here in America, which is like when the slaves came over here and they did voodoo at home, they couldn't do voodoo here. The slave owners wouldn't let them, and so a lot of them actually had Bibles in their homes, and so they created a system that was around the Bible and around Christian things, and it's called hoodoo, and it's practiced like in Louisiana, down
Yeah.
New Orleans and stuff like
And
that.
that's more like curses and chaos
Well,
magic, isn't it?
Well, hoodoo is like um, it's got a bunch of little funny things that you do. Like it's a lot of herbs and stuff. I never did do chaos magic. I really don't know what that is. I mean, I've heard about it, but I don't know uh, what it actually. It's very complicated, I think. But no, hoodoo is. I mean, these were just people that they practice this. Right underneath the slave owners. And to keep from getting in trouble because they would get beat for doing their voodoo. The voodoo relies on like your ancestors, your ancient ancestors and stuff. Is who you. That's where all your power is supposed to come from. Is your ancestors.
Yeah.
But hoodoo is just like there's some spells for I've got my couple of my spell books I brought with me down here, but like if you don't want people around your house, you put some kind of foot powder out there, and like it will keep them out off of your.
Oh, well, that's cool. So you still got your spell books, huh?
These are well, I sold all my like bought ones, but these are the ones I made, and so I can't really. I really haven't. I keep telling both my daughters that like they're gonna fight over them, and they're both like, we don't want those.
Oh,
My youngest daughter actually is an atheist too, and
oh.
she's the reason I'm atheist actually, and I tell her all the time, I'm gonna leave you my grimoires, and she's like, I don't want that stuff. It goes to her.
Do you ever find yourself like wanting to do like a spell? Like you just have like a moment where you're like, I want to try it again. See what happens.
I did one on Kentucky Atheist. You know, I go on his channel a lot. Like we both live in Kentucky, and I did a spell on his channel that was supposed to like get him to 1,000 subscribers, and he's still not there.
Uh-oh.
So no, I
Have
even
you ever?
gave away. I even gave away David Warnock books and still didn't get him up there. So
Oh man. Oh, there's Big Bad Mama and Beamsy's
yeah,
here.
and I see, and Beamsy said voodoo comes from crossroads. I don't know what that means.
I don't either. I'm just gonna assume he knows what he's talking about. I guess.
Now crossroads are used a lot in witchcraft because that is where you take your spell remains, and you know there's some things. There's just so much to learn. It was really interesting actually learning it all. I was it was like I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I've got all this stuff to learn. And but
You can never
I finally
master it, probably.
I
Right?
finally kind of it's well, and they make it sound scientific. Okay, once you get into it and you start studying and everything, it's all about like intention, and you use all your stuff to make your intention, like your rocks and your herbs and all that stuff. And then you have to sit and visualize, and you are supposed to just you have to learn, and visualization is hard to do for an extended length of time, and you have to do that, and that's what's supposed to, and then you like drum or stomp your feet. Like you'll see a lot of the wicked ones, they'll get out and dance in a circle and stuff. And what they're doing is once they make the circle, supposedly that circle encloses that energy in there and holds it. Like, this salt circle keeps all this energy inside there. But they get up there and they drum and they build up all this energy that's supposed to go up into this cone of power, is what it's called, the cone of power. And then that little salt circle will keep all that energy in there until they release it. And they release it intentionally. And that's what sends the intent out into the
Huh.
ether, I guess, for your spell
Wow.
work.
That's interesting. Hi, Beamsy.
And it all depends on the coven you actually follow.
Yes. I have one of my good friends. I used to go down there and like at his place and do my spells and stuff because he lives out in the country. And he'd be like, "Are you gonna be doing them nude out there?" I was like, "No." He ticks. I told him too many ticks. On the BS, yes, Mark. The cone of power.
Look, he said, "Don't forget to hex the like button." That was
But
funny.
I mean, I got 2 big doses of confirmation bias right off the bat. Boom, boom. And the thing about it is when WO came back, he'd been gone 7 months. And when he came back, he told me, he said, every day, the longer I was gone, the stronger I was pulled towards you. So I was just like, yep, that was me. Spelling. I mean, I told him I was doing that. You know what I mean? And I remember when he left the last time, he said, "Are you going to cast a spell on me?" I said, "I'm done spelling you. Done spelling you." I said, "I give up."
Man. So, and he's like, do you talk to him still?
No.
So that didn't work.
I haven't talked to him in 4 years.
I'd be scared to do a love spell, and then you couldn't get rid of them. Probably, they'd probably like turn into some psycho or something. So have you ever? Well, actually, I wanted to ask Beamsy what he knows about. Were you in a coven too, Robin, or were you just like? I think you might have said that.
I was. There ain't no covens. I live in a little bitty town. I wasn't Wiccan anyway. I did. I went through several different little stages of stuff. I finally kind of settled on ceremonial magic and planetary magic is what I did mostly.
Oh, okay.
The ceremonial magic actually uses the Bible a lot too. It's because it's got like ancient Hebrew and Psalms. There's a lot of magic that's done through Psalms too, like curse breakers and things that are supposed to clean negative energy off of your stuff. You get in the bathtub with salt and one of the witch herbs. I can't think of what it is now. Rue or one of them. And then you get up and you read Psalms, like standing in between two candles.
Wow. That's something.
But I like the ceremonial magic, and the planetary magic was pretty. You use the planets like for whatever instead of God. You use the power of the planet, like Mars, or it was. I guess that would be a god, but you were using the planet instead of the god.
Yeah.
More along the line of astrology.
That's what I was going to ask if that's what it was.
It's not really astrology. It's like each planet, and it all coordinates so good too. Each planet has like a certain, each one was named after a god or something, so they've got their own energy or their own intention. Like Venus was the goddess of love, and so you use Venus anytime you want to do a love spell, and then you've got Mercury, like anytime you wanted to do any kind of communication spell or something like to speed it up or something, you use Mercury. Mars was like anytime you was trying to, like you said, cause chaos or war or a curse or something like that, or if you needed strength in it. And let me go let that dog in. She's
okay.
Scratching at the door.
So how you doing, Beamsy?
Same old, same old.
I don't think I've gotten to talk to you before, so this will be our first time, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it's nice to meet you, anyway. What was I going to say this morning? I was going to say something about Proverbs, guys. I just wanted to let you guys know that I had nothing to do with that whole thing that happened to Chuck. I went on last night because I was going to say hi to Kent, and then I stayed backstage, and I tried to say something about it and got kicked. So, I had nothing to do with any of that. So I'm not part of that. I'm not a Proverbs guy. I'm just.
They didn't say nothing about that. They didn't say nothing about you.
I know. I just wanted to make it clear so everybody knew because I tried to say something about it. I can't say anything. I get mad and do things that I shouldn't and say things I shouldn't, but I didn't have nothing to do with this.
No, I think you and Father Charles were pretty close.
Yeah. Yeah, he let me beat Mark up the other day, so that was really nice of him.
Yeah, I heard that. I listened to all that.
I know. I listened to it again, and I'm just like, oh my goodness, we sound like a miserable couple.
Well, I kind of feel like I guess I understand kind of what he was upset about, but then again, I don't know that that was the place to do it. Yeah, I said that Mark Stoney. Yes, I did. You know what I mean? And then like after an hour and a half, it was definitely time to give it up.
Yeah, I know. I should have left.
I couldn't believe you didn't kick him out and leave him out. That's what I kept waiting for you to do.
I don't know. I was having fun with him a little bit, I guess.
And Dane was trying to referee.
I know. I really appreciated him. I mean, but I don't know. But so did I ask you already? I don't know. But have you cursed someone before or like tried to curse someone?
Oh, good. I won't hold it against you. No, I never did curse somebody.
No.
I don't dislike anybody enough to curse them. I guess I probably I remember all like this was like part of this was during Trump's presidency, and I do remember that there is probably here's some proof that if if a curse worked, Trump would be the person that it would have worked on because there was like one day that all the witches on the internet. I mean, they planned this. It was like the Women's March or something. Okay. I mean, it was a specific time and everything where every witch that knew about it in the whole world was supposed to was supposed to do their spell at home for him to die.
Oh, to die. See, I thought it
Yes.
was for him
I
to
mean, and he didn't. And I guarantee probably at least 7 million witches were cursing him that day.
Yeah, I
At
remember
least.
that. I thought it was for him to not be able to get it up. I don't know. Maybe that was just one of them. I'm not
That
sure.
might have
But
been Wiccans that were doing that.
I don't know if that one worked, but
But I'm pretty sure that most of the witches that I knew, there's like Black Witch. I don't know. There's some channels that are on YouTube that are really interesting, like Mind and Magic. Frater Xavier. That's where I learned the ceremonial magic. I have all his lessons. I bought them. His like things, and he's just. I mean, I just loved him. He's just so cool. And then Black Witch Coven, which is a coven in Louisiana, that is in New Orleans there, and it has different kinds of witches in it. But one of them is a Black Witch, Savannah, and she's a Luciferian witch.
oh, yeah, those are those are what do you call
Yeah,
them?
she like demons. They don't worship them. They use them like to do stuff, but they don't. She don't really curse as much as she's made a bunch of money and stuff. So that's what she. But she credits it to her demon.
Huh. So, yeah, I don't know. I look at it like it's all demons, pretty much. All I know, wait, let's see what Mark said. All I know about witchcraft is witchcraft of today is different from the Bible because that was mostly concerned with idolatry and divination.
How do you know? How do you know anything about the witchcraft in the Bible, Mark? That's what I want to know. How old are you?
He's younger than I am. I think he's
Actually, the one of the the other day I watched Digital Hammurabi, Dr. Josh and Megan, and they found the oldest like writing of a language we did not have on some kind of tablets, and I cannot remember where they were from or whatever, but it was actually a spell. It's older than the Bible. The tablets are older than the Bible. They're from an older. They're in like it's not even ancient Hebrew. It's like the prerequisite for that. I'd have to go on Digital Hammurabi and look up the tablets, the stream they done. But they just found this the other day, and it's a spell. That's what it is. It's a spell. That's what's on the tablet is a spell. These cuneiform tablets.
I've heard that about
Go to Digital Hammurabi.
okay.
And look at that. There's a bit stream on there with Megan. Josh is not on that stream. It's Megan and the archaeologist one of them that found it, I think.
Huh.
Well, the oldest known tablet with writing on it is actually a receipt for grain that was being sold.
Yeah, this was like those cuneiform tablets. You know what I'm talking about? Those little. It wasn't paper or anything. It was like
It's written in clay.
Yeah, well, these were just found like 2 months ago or something. The stream was like 2 months ago. I watched it, and it was a language that we had never found before or something. They had never.
Then they're
found
not cuneiform. Cuneiform is a language.
Oh, it is a tablet. Okay, well, it's those kind of tablets though. It took them a long time to decipher them and everything, but that's what they said it was, a spell. I can't remember what kind of spell it was. I was like in the middle of doing stuff, running around while it was on, but I was listening to it.
I was reading just recently. They over there in Iraq, I guess when the war started, they raided a museum over there. I think it's I don't remember exactly what the museum's called, but the things that they stole out of there, the most important things were I guess some like vases or something that had like how to resurrect the dead on them, and I was like, oh, that's
See,
scary.
they destroyed a bunch of stuff. I mean, there's so much, um, stuff that they destroyed that the Islamic, um,
Yeah, yeah, like
when the
because they
Ottoman Empire and stuff went through there, they just destroyed. I mean, they got rid of, I mean, they just destroyed everything, and tore down buildings and just everything and put their stuff up.
which is probably looks like crap compared to the older stuff.
Magic carpet ride.
Let's see what's Mark saying. Mark, you can come in if you want. Um, unless, yeah, I don't know. But historical context. I'm sorry, Beamsy, you were going to say something a second ago, and I didn't. I interrupted you.
No, I was just pointing out that cuneiform is actually a language. It's the written language of that region. So if they say cuneiform tablet, then we can read them.
Okay, well, they read them, but they said they had to. It's the first time they'd ever found, like, I don't. It was like an earlier language of a language that we actually had found before, but it was an earlier version of it. They said or something. I don't. But it was on some kind of clay tablets. Is what it was on. I can find the stream after a while. It's just Megan though. It's not Dr. Josh. I can't. I don't know how to do all that, Mark. I'm good. I got a picture going.
Hey,
talking about your
description.
He was talking about your link. I thought he was talking about that link for that.
That's what I thought. He might have been, actually. I just probably was thinking he was talking about the restream because I have it pinned. So, I mean, he's not. He knows how to do it. He knows how to get on. He probably don't want to. That's all right.
He also knows how to get off, but that's a different matter.
They did magic, and the early Hebrews did magic. I mean, I don't know that they called each other. They can call them witches, though. I'm not sure when the word witch actually showed up. In in language, I don't know. I feel like that was not ever probably a word that came from Hebrew.
Crap, he can't see my comments. That's why he can't come in.
Are witches in the Old Testament? Are they mentioned in the Old Testament?
See, I don't know. That'd be something that Mark would have to. That he could probably answer. I don't know how to give you the link, Mark. Like, I don't know. That's your problem. That you not because you got me blocked. It's a hate relationship, I guess.
Too bad. Too bad, Mark. Too bad.
I don't know who else.
Gangster Ghost still in here? Where'd he go?
I don't know.
He's in there right now. Who's in here with us?
Oh, this is Beamsy. It's just me, you, and Beamsy. Yeah.
Why don't you no face, Beamsy?
Because my camera gets eaten by the cat.
Oh.
Well, is anybody out there that I can give a wrench to? Why don't you say something, Beamsy? I'll give you a wrench so you can. Would you copy and paste the link for Mark, or do you know how to do that?
Yes, I know how to do that.
Okay. Well, if you say something out there, I'll give you a wrench.
Don't get one, Mark.
Okay, let's see. Oh, I almost said put user in timeout. That wouldn't have worked.
Don't get say anything yet.
And I probably deserved it anyway.
Oh, I thought you meant Mark.
I know, I should do that. No. Oh. Who's that? Oh, wow, he got in here quick. Hello.
This is the first time I've ever used this Restream. I've always used StreamYard. I like this. It has the chat.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I like it. How you doing, Mark?
I can see the chat.
Mr. Stoney's audio isn't working.
Mute.
Well, I guess he ain't gonna say nothing.
I see Mark Reed. Is Mark Reed still here?
There you are.
I know he was wanting to go to bed, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think
Sorry,
that's
the
what he
best I
said.
could do.
Nice.
Nice hair.
It's a
Yes.
tea cozy, actually, but
Oh, that's why my other microphone wasn't working. I see.
I was going to try that voice mod today, but then I changed my mind.
Hear me now. How about now? How about now?
Sound good?
All right.
So
In-
Robin was asking if
There's no hair now.
So I wanted to ask, Robin, where were these tablets found? Like, what geographical region, location?
I told you all I could remember about that.
Oh,
It's
okay,
on
okay.
Digital Hobby. That's Dr. Josh and Megan. You know who Dr. Josh is?
No.
Well, him and his wife. He does a really good Kent Hovind. You should watch him. Actually, he
All right, I
does.
see their
He does the
website.
best Kent Hovind I've ever heard. He does as good a he does it better than Kent. But he's married to. Do you ever watch Bart Ehrman?
Yeah, I've seen Bart.
Okay, do you know Megan that's on his show? With
No.
glasses. She's got like the round glasses.
I see her now. I mean, I'm on the website.
Okay. That's his
Megan
wife. They have
Lewis.
5 kids, and they're both Assyriologists.
A Syriologist?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so like Assyria.
Yeah, they speak like 2 or 3 or 4 languages apiece that are like, you know what I mean? They're not even living languages anymore.
Gotcha.
And yeah, and he's written like the what's it called, the handbook for the something for the atheist, something handbook, and then something else. Facial reconstruction. I know. I remember that, Beamsy. Is that you really? Is that you really your picture?
yes.
he
Is
looks
that,
very
is that,
young.
Is that? I know. How old are you, Beamsy?
Excuse me.
In birthdays, or how old am I actually?
Them birthdays.
9.
9.
Yes.
9. Is that in dog years?
No, that's
No.
no for German. Or German for no.
No.
9.
It'll
Yeah.
be my 10th birthday in about 2 weeks.
Well, then you look old for your
Congratulations,
age.
you were born on a leap year, weren't you?
Bingo.
Got it.
I didn't
Most
get it.
people get it.
I'm pretty sure they
I've-
could reconstruct my face, and I still wouldn't look that good. So,
Aw, that's not true.
I'm 39.
oh,
37. We're close.
38.
Good
Wait, you're
grief,
not-
old.
What?
Huh?
Did you just call me old?
You're,
Okay.
you're older than me.
I don't
Get
have
over
any. I don't
We're
have
getting
any gray
Don't
hair in my
tell me-
beard, so
don't y'all even talk about being old, okay?
yeah, right.
My apologies. My
Jeez.
apologies.
Yeah, because
If you look
I'm
closely, you can actually see 3 gray hairs in my beard there.
I'm a double nickel.
Wait. What?
Do you know that? Do you know what that is, Mr. Mon?
No.
Double nickel, 55.
Oh, okay.
there you go.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking 10. I'm like 10.
No,
Well,
I'm the one
Beamsy's
that's going
9, I
to
could
be 10.
be 10.
No, I'll be 10 in about 2 weeks. That's my
Oh.
10th birthday. Quite literally.
Nice. Because it's a leap year.
Yes.
Oh
That's
my
cool.
gosh, yeah, leap years. That sucks, don't it?
Yeah, I only get a birthday once every 4 years.
I mean, that don't even make no sense to me. What do you do about that?
He's just 9 until
why you're
his 40th
9, I
birthday. All right, so I brought this up because I kind of put together this what
I
were the
can't
names
see
of
it. It's too
them?
little
me
from
see.
my
I'm gonna
screen.
try to-
Is that their
The
page?
Digital Hammurabi. Since they're Assyriologists,
Yes.
I wanted to point out, where Assyria is in relation to Jerusalem, which Jerusalem is where the law went out from. That's where the temple was and everything.
Well, they did.
So-
They study several. What they call them? Not they don't call them ancient. They call them. I don't know. They've got a word that they say it for ancient. For those civilizations.
Right.
Mesopotamia.
Yeah, there's like but
Yeah,
it's,
that would definitely be it because there's
there's a whole
Euphrates,
bunch of
Tigris.
them
So
there.
this is like Iraq, Iran, that area. So I pointed that out because you were asking about witches in the Old Testament, and it is mentioned in the Old Testament. This was
Witches are
a
like by
yes,
name witches.
yes. So they had knowledge of witches in the area for sure, and the law in Jerusalem in Israel was specific to the Jews. This wasn't a law for um, travelers or any other
Yeah, I know the Mosaic
people.
Law.
Right. So this was specific for Jerusalem. So this is speaking to a civilization, not really a civilization, I guess, more of a culture, a Jewish culture that they were not allowed to practice witchcraft and divination. They didn't care what other people did. They just acknowledged it was going on at the time. So that would line up perfectly with what the Bible and the Old Testament refers to when it mentions witches, because yeah, that kind of witchcraft was certainly around during that day. But
Do,
it's a far cry from the kind of witchcraft that goes on today for sure.
do you ever watch Myth Vision?
I've
Derek?
seen some episodes.
Okay, Derek is so thorough, so thorough.
Is that the guy that did debunking ancient aliens?
I don't think so. Derek deals with like ancient civilizations most of the time. I don't know. He could
Right.
have, but this guy he brings the best scholars. I mean,
Right.
he brings the top of the line scholars on there, and he has a couple of streams about the temple in Jerusalem and everything. Okay, and according to these scholars, this so much of Hebrew.
What is his name?
It's Myth Vision. His name is Derek, but
Oh.
the name of his channel is Myth Vision.
Okay, so
And,
ancient aliens debunked is Chris White, so not the same guy.
He usually deals with all this kind of stuff. He deals with the Old Testament. He is, I mean, deep into the Hebrew Old Testament, and he has a stream on one of his about the temple, and so much of the the Hebrew religion is so founded on misogyny and sexism.
Oh, it's definitely patriarchal in nature.
Because when they came and took over the temple, because the other civilizations were at this temple spot there for a while, and there were women in there, and they actually, according to that, smoked grass.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but they and that's the one this stream is about too. It's going to be about the guy wrote a book about marijuana and the ancient Hebrew people. So whatever, I don't know what the name of it is, but that's the stream it'll be on. It'll be that guy that wrote that book there, and he said, one of the reasons why they went in there and they kicked we couldn't do witches and stuff was because they throwed all the women out of the temple, and then of course that back in I heard, who was it, Dan yesterday said, well, that don't have nothing to do with modern days. Do you remember that when y'all were having y'all's little round? And he said, that's in the Old Testament, Mark. That don't have nothing to do with what's going on now. You remember them saying that?
Yeah.
Okay. I was hollering in my car going, Salem witch trials. I mean, how long ago was that? 100 and some years? Right. You know what I mean?
See, I'm very familiar with the Salem witch trials, and that was an atrocious part of American history. And that's why I kind of have a keen ear for when people start throwing that accusation around, because if we don't learn from history, we're doomed to repeat it.
I know,
right,
but
right.
I wouldn't say
but
that.
When Dan comes in and says, "Oh, that's ancient times, blah blah blah,"
yeah, I mean, I was like, well, it wasn't that long ago.
It's dismissing, right? It's dismissing the real issue, and that's that people take this religious dogma and kill people because of it. Like, yes, the I suffer not a witch to live is a very real commandment in the Old Testament
The
for ancient
Salem ones
Israel.
were bad, but
Oh yeah,
over in Europe was even worse. I mean, I think there were around maybe 50 or 60,000 women who were killed in Europe.
And it was as simple as somebody just accusing somebody. They didn't even have to have proof.
And
It's just
all it amounted to was stealing their stuff.
Yeah,
that's all it amounted to, pretty much. You know, if a woman was rich and she didn't have a husband, and her husband had died and left her stuff and everything, she would just steal her stuff. You know, steal their stuff.
Right.
No, that they would just turn her in as a witch, kill her, you know, torture her. Let's see, if they'd throw her in the river or whatever, and if she sunk, she was innocent.
Yeah.
I don't know which one.
She was guilty.
So she dies either way.
You die either way. It's like
I don't know.
There's a scene in Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
I don't know which one it was, but I know one of them. All of them were confessions. I thought that was kind of wild.
Well, yeah.
I
confess too after I can't see this private chat thing come up on my screen, and now I can't get it. How do I get it off her?
There's a little arrow. There's a little arrow on the right hand side, or like pointing down. You just hit that.
The big issue is when it comes to.
Did it go down?
The idea of a witch in the Bible from the Old Testament. It's a translation of the word mekasfa, which doesn't actually have an English translation. The basic, what you could have said is spiritcraft would be the closest way they could actually translate it correctly.
Yeah, and that's why I brought up.
It seems real strange to me that they would believe that much in witchcraft, because they don't. You know, the early Hebrews didn't even believe in a soul. I mean, they believed that God breathed life into you, and when the breath went out of you, you were gone. I mean, they didn't even believe in an afterlife, actually. You know what I mean? The ancient Hebrews did not. Most of them did not. No. An afterlife, no.
That's not very accurate at all, actually.
Yes, I promise you. They you know, that there was like a place, a place mentioned Sheol or Sheol.
Yeah, Sheol is the resting place, the holding place.
Okay, Sheol was just a dumpster,
garbage dump
outside of town where they burnt stuff, garbage.
Can I correct you here? Sheol is it is the afterlife. It is the underworld, but there's two compartments. There's Gehenna. There's Gehenna, which is the dumpster fire, where the unrighteous go for punishment. And Abraham's bosom, according to Scripture, is where the righteous go. That's where Lazarus went.
Where's that at in the Bible?
Let's see.
Old Testament. I'm pretty sure Mark will find it. Hi, Missing Mod.
Hi. I said hi to you out in the chat, but
yeah. What's this stream about here?
Because I actually.
I'm talking to Robin about her history and witchcraft and stuff.
Oh, do you have a history in witchcraft?
I don't know, who is that?
It's Lupin.
A friend of Missing Mod.
Yeah.
Christian.
Yeah, that's what the whole stream's about. Huh? Sorry, Robin.
I'm Christian.
All right.
I'm Christian. I'm just stating my faith. I'm Christian.
Oh, okay.
So
are you
16,
do you practice witchcraft? I was curious. Or
no, she
in the past
too. Yeah. Yeah, you could. It's in the beginning when she first came in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So here in Luke chapter 16 and verses 22 and 23, we see the separation of the places of Sheol. A lot of times especially in the King James, it's all just translated to hell, but there's different words in the Greek and the Hebrew for these different compartments. So Sheol is like the overall place. Like there's two compartments, and this is where we get that from Scripture. It says, "The time came when the beggar died, and the angels carried him to Abraham's bosom, or Abraham's side. The rich man also died and was buried. In Hades, which this is Gehenna, where he was in torment, he looked up and saw Abraham far away with Lazarus by his side. So there's two compartments to this. What is the Hebrew word Sheol, and the one side is Hades or Gehenna, and that is the burning dumpster
But
fire.
now Hades, I know wasn't there. Hades was a Greek. Hades was Greek. Hades.
Well,
was
this is just an English,
phrase.
right? This is an English translation, so it's NIV. They use different words, like I was mentioning in the King James. It's all hell.
But they did not.
It's
They
all
did not.
translated to hell, but there are different words in the original manuscripts.
But not all. Most ancient Hebrews did not believe in an afterlife. They believed that eventually, they finally got to where they believed that eventually that God would come and send whatever, that God would come and set up a kingdom on earth, and then they would be reincarnated, like up their bodies and brought up. But they did not. I mean, they did not believe in spirits because I'm pretty good friends with Rabbi David Wolpe. Do you know him? He is a Jewish rabbi.
No, I'm familiar with Tobias Singer, who also is he was actually the lead rabbi in the Philippines.
Well,
that's not the only rabbi I've
David
followed at all.
Was the rabbi of the synagogue of Sinai, like out in Los Angeles and stuff. And I wrote him a lot and stuff because he used to debate Christopher Hitchens and Sam Harris and him. And
okay.
he's my favorite apologist. I mean, just on any religion, I just love him. He's funny and everything, and I just love him to death. And I mean, he's talked about it. Most of them did not believe in afterlife, especially the early ones did not.
Well, they didn't believe in the afterlife in the sense that they die and are immediately like incarnated in a different form, like we do today. We believe when we die, we spiritually and immediately are translated to heaven. But the ancient belief was looking for a resurrection of the
hell
dead.
Was in around 300 BC.
Well, see, we would have to go more in the
Hellenistic culture is when they got introduced to the
right.
Because none of them think they were going to hell anyway, because they were God's chosen people. They might have thought other people were going to hell if there was a hell, but they didn't think they were going.
Well, if they didn't think they were going to hell, that implies that they believe in an afterlife. But what they actually believed was looking forward to the Messiah to bring the resurrection of the dead.
Yeah, that was
in the earliest texts. The afterlife is often referred to as Sheol, and that's the shadowy place where all the dead go, regardless of their moral conduct in life. So this is like where the dead exist in a state of like semi-consciousness, and the Bible refers to it as sleep. When he's talking about a different Lazarus than what we're talking about in Luke, Lazarus was Jesus' friend and Mary's friend. So they said Jesus says, or they said he's asleep, and they were like, he's not talking about resting sleep. It's about, he's not alive anymore. So they often refer to that state of the, not really an afterlife, but more of an after sleep awaiting the resurrection.
Yeah, they believed that God would eventually set up a kingdom on earth. But which for a long time, the Hebrew people believed that didn't believe God was up in the sky anyway.
No,
I mean,
that's not even the belief of today.
In the Garden of, I've always thought he's in heaven. I mean, that's when I grew up, that's what I thought. He's up in heaven, but I mean, in the Old Testament, God is walking around. I mean, there's one passage in the Bible where it says that you have to dig a hole and put your feces in it, so God won't step in a pile of shit while he's walking around. And
where is
he don't want to walk. Yes, I don't know. You have to Google. I don't remember the verse, but it's like when you do something, dig a hole and hide your excrement or something like that. It's in there. You have never read that?
I've read a lot of the Old Testament, but I don't really get hung up on.
While he's out walking around your camp, he does not want to step in a pile of dogs.
Well, obviously, you don't want to do that, and that's something we even do like in modern
was
camps.
Walking around with them, and then let's see, God was in the Ark of Covenant. They believed that God was in that little box thing, and they in the Garden of Eden. I mean, he was walking around going, "Where are you?" You know, because they were hiding from him.
Yeah, they had hidden themselves.
And, you know, and he was
He knew
asking
where they were. That was a rhetorical. Where are you?
I guess. I
Yeah,
guess.
just like the rhetorical question when he asked Cain, "Where's your brother?" Like God knew, and he followed it up with "His blood cries out from the ground." So he knows. He does a lot of rhetorical questions with us dummies because we know too. We
But
just
see,
like to lie.
the
But
the
hey, I'm gonna
Hebrews.
step off of here. Thanks for letting me on, Missing Mod. Robin, it was good to
Mhm.
talk to you.
Yeah.
Interesting conversation.
Mhm.
Beamsy, take care, bud.
You went way off of the sticks, though.
I
Yeah, I
do
know.
that sometimes.
Mhm.
I like the sticks.
You going to
I
Chuck's?
grew up in the sticks. Yeah. Because there were some things happened last night that need to be discussed concerning his uh, legitimacy of his priesthood.
Yeah, I know. I
So
was there.
we're
I
gonna
was there
discuss
after.
that. Yeah, we're gonna go discuss that this morning. So, carry on. Have a good morning. Good to see you
Thanks,
guys.
Mark.
Thank you. Anyway, yeah, I just love how they do that. Start streaming while I'm streaming. Isn't that nice? Anyway,
Now, I'd say, I kind of figure this has probably got a few of them tore up.
yeah, I can. It's like, that just makes me want to do it even more. I cannot stand to be bossed around. Like by people that I don't even know, and like I know them a little bit, but anyway, it doesn't matter. I do what I want, pretty much. But anyway,
I know. I can't believe Big Bad Mama's not here.
I know, right? He was supposed to be.
I know he said he would. He said, "I'll see you there." That's what he told me last night. I'll see you there.
Yeah. What a brat.
Hey, it's 3:30 in the morning for me, and I'm still here.
I know. BZ said he'd be here too.
I know. I'm so glad you came in. I was happy to see you, join. I didn't think that you guys would, because I was thinking, because the other day I was on Steven's show like real late, and I guess I don't remember what he said, but Bubblegum Gun, I guess, said something about Mark, and I'm like, I have no problem with Mark Reed. I like him, a lot. So whatever he said ain't got nothing to do with how I feel, So I don't remember what he said, though. I haven't watched it back, but
He was on one of them things I watched, but I don't remember what he said either. I don't pay no
Yeah.
attention. Sit down, Hope. Sit down. Sit down.
Yeah, well, Bubblegum gets a lot of flack from both me and Mark, and he doesn't like it.
Doesn't he say that Mark owes him like $1 million or something outrageous like that? Somebody owes
I'm
him.
gonna say that he's probably incorrect about that, because I can't hardly see Mark being wrong about something with him and them two talking about it.
He is so determined that dogs didn't evolve, so we cannot show where the Dalmatian is. But both Mark and I have both shown him both historical collages as well as genetic data to show exactly where they came from.
I understand now. Close your eyes. It's hard to see stuff, isn't it?
It's another one of those. It looks like a maple leaf.
Yeah. Refuse to look. So every kind of dog was also on the boat.
Don't want to go down this rabbit hole. This is just,
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know. I wasn't there,
Okay,
but
let's get
we're
back
all
to
here.
Majick. Let's get back to Majick. Yeah. Let me see. I brought my.
So, Beamsy, what about you? And how do you look so young? Is that why you use magic?
complete facial reconstruction. No, the
He is
magic eye.
young.
The magic eye I use is actually Celtic, so it's a little bit different to what you're defining as the Celtic is. It's similar to what the Bible's idea of it is. It's mostly just a spiritual aspect of it, but it doesn't involve the deviancy.
I don't know. See, I don't know what that means. Like, I know, I don't know what the different names and stuff mean. Like for, like what exactly kind of magic is it? Like, that's
The best way to. It basically is ancestor worshipping and astronomy.
Oh, so you believe in magic then? that it works.
Depending on how you
Beamsy?
define it.
I doubt it.
Because the aspect of blacksmithing is definitely magic. That's the
Blacksmithing.
sort of because you're taking things from the earth and you're turning it into stuff, and that's
Okay.
that's the definition of what you would call magic within the Celtic beliefs. It's easy to understand, but it's difficult to comprehend.
Huh. And so you currently practice, then? That's what you're saying?
Yeah.
Oh. Interesting. See, I'm always wanting to talk to people that do stuff like that. You know, well, just anything really. I'm just kind of interested in anything.
It's slightly different to what you would expect because it's older and it's more about centering self and centering spirit and finding where you center and allow you to carry on with your life. So it actually hasn't got anything to do with gods or spellcraft or anything else like that.
Have you ever
It's
done
mostly
this?
to do. I can't see that, sorry.
It's the middle pillar ritual.
No, that's completely different to what I do.
Okay, this is like this, but this is a centering, ritual. Like it's supposed to like center it. You know what I mean? Like
Again, it's completely different because I'm a member of a grove.
Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah, this is like this and the lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram. These are all in Hebrew. Like everything you do is Hebrew. Like the letters and the words that you say are Hebrew, ancient Hebrew, and then I have the psalm here that you're supposed to read for the like.
So well, mine are in runes in Gaelic, so that's different again.
Yes. Well, now I did study it, and I do have some friends that like witches up there. Cause see, I'm from my family's from Scotland, like my ancient family, and so I did.
I hear that like I hear like some people are born like they're born like more what do they call that? Like where they're better at it. They're not they don't make as many mistakes. Like they're kind of like they're meant to be involved in some kind of magic or something. I don't know. And then some people just get into it later. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that's called. Generational or something maybe.
Yeah,
like where they're just naturally good at it.
Well, supposedly, like if you were a witch. See, for a long time, it was death. It was a death threat. A death sentence if you got caught. So and a lot of these people couldn't write anyway. They couldn't read and write. But even the ones that could, they wouldn't have wanted to write this down. So they passed this knowledge along very secretly to a younger generation. So a witch would choose her student, her pupil. And she would, teach all she knew, all the secrets she knew to a younger person to pass it along. And you didn't let everybody know,
Yeah, because somebody might accuse you.
I mean, even being a midwife. I mean, it was just, it's just horrific to think about. I mean, I can't imagine wanting to be a woman at any other time in history of the world. I'm sorry, but
Yeah.
The more forward we go, the better it is for women. I wouldn't even want to go back to the 20s or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah,
we have
definitely.
We have the gravy to the gals that came before us. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely. I know. I feel bad for the women that are born into Islam and in the Middle East. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and getting married at 9.
Oof. I mean, I don't want to lose my license or anything. I want to keep driving, but I think that there's some women that shouldn't be on the road. I have a lot of like views like that, but not like we should be property or something. Like I'm keeping my license, but
I'm a truck driver. I can tell you, I say a lot about women drivers. A woman in a minivan scares me to death. You know what I mean? She's got like 5 kids jumping around in there. She's putting her makeup on, eating a cheeseburger, and not paying any attention to that big orange truck going down the road.
Yeah.
The thing is, you could also fit some guys into there, so it should be there are some people that shouldn't have licenses.
I can be sexist.
Yeah, I definitely can too, for sure. I noticed that in witchcraft too. A lot of the females are like totally what do you call that?
Feminist.
Feminist. Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
I noticed that.
Yes, there's a witchcraft. There's a lot of feminists. Yes, yes, very strong women. There's a lot of strong women in that. A lot of headstrong women.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a feminist by any means, but I agree. Like, I think we should be able to do what I don't know, because
I think every woman should get to do what she wants to. If she wants to get married and have kids, then that's great. If that's what makes her happy, I have no problem with it. You know what I mean? If she's happy at home raising children and doing whatever, I mean, I think we all should get to choose. I don't think I should get to tell any woman what she does or can or cannot do. I shouldn't be able to tell her you don't need a man, you don't need, you know what I mean? But I don't want them to tell me either.
Yeah, that's true. I know I don't like being told what to do for sure at all by anyone.
But I don't knock any woman that does that. You know what I mean? If that's what makes you happy, then I'm glad for you. I mean, that's you know what I'm saying? That's if you're happy, I don't care.
Yeah, as long as you're not hurting other people, which is like, well, as long as you're not hurting me, I guess. But
well, no, as long as you ain't hurting other people, I worry about more. I mean, it ain't just me. I worry about other people than me.
Yeah.
Really. Your rights end right at the end of your fist or whatever, where my nose begins or whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's the way I feel about it. Until your rights start inflicting on my rights, then you've got the right.
Yeah. Yep, that's true. I know. I think about voting though, and I'm like, they, as soon as they gave us the right to vote, now we can be drafted in war, and I don't want to do that. I'm not.
Like they couldn't draft us as soon as they gave us the vote.
Well, I think
I don't even know if we can be drafted now. Actually, women. I don't even know if women can be drafted yet. They try. I mean, you can join the military, but I'm not sure that women are required to sign up for the draft. We don't have to go sign up for the draft when we turn 18.
No, so you don't sign up for the draft. You actually are already registered, and
it was signed
into law for you guys 2 years ago.
Oh, well, okay. Women can be?
Both men and women will be drafted if there's a draft.
In the United States?
Yes, it was signed into law 2 years ago.
Oh, man.
Okay, well, it's bringing it in. See, they still, though, guys have to go when they're 18. They have to go sign up for the draft. I mean, you've got 30 days after you turn 18 to sign up for the draft. It's a requirement. And wow. I didn't know. I mean, my daughter is 18. Is she supposed to go sign up?
No, you don't actually sign up for the draft.
That's what I thought. I thought it was.
Do. Don't they?
No. The government already has your information when you turn 18. If you sign up to vote, that is what they use. They use your electoral roll to actually draft you.
Well, if you didn't want to go on the draft, you just never vote.
No, you don't sign up to vote.
You have to register to vote where I live. In my state, yes. They do not automatically register you to vote. I promise you.
Yeah, you have to register to vote.
Well.
Big bad mama. I live.
Hi, everybody. Good morning.
I live in a state where it's highly gerrymandered and voter suppression is rampant.
But the way it works is when you sign up to vote, that's the information they use to draft you.
Ouch.
I'm pretty aged out of that, I think, anyway, so I don't have to worry about it. I don't know what they might need what do they need old women for in the military?
Yeah, it's 18 to 25 for a draft anyway.
What do you think about women in the military, Beamsy?
I don't agree with them in combat roles.
Oh, thank you. I don't either. And not because I don't think that they can, kick butt and take names, but I just don't think that our reaction in our brain is the same, and it's definitely, you don't want to send your woman out to fight a battle for you, you know? Like, I don't know. I
If
don't
you
like
want me
the
to
idea.
list the reasons, it's quite a vast reasoning of why.
Yeah, what was the movie? Had Demi Moore in it.
G.I.
Uh,
Jane.
I mean, there's a lot of good reasons in that movie, really.
I don't think I've seen that, but I know my dad used to really love it.
You
Yeah.
ever seen G.I. Jane?
I've seen, like, you know, clips of it, but I've never sat and watched the
Oh
whole
my
thing. I'm a
God.
huge comedy fan. I just love to laugh.
There's one
what I
line in that movie that's like the best line in any movie that was ever on. I'm sure y'all, Big Bad Mama and Beamsy, probably know what it is.
What is it?
She raises up her. He's beat the hell out of her, and she looks at him, and he turns around and she says, "Suck my dick."
Oh.
But the aspects of why women should not be in combat roles, if they actually have to meet the same standards of a man, it will actually affect their body. Because if you talk to any of some of the ex-female vets, they will tell you that their reproductive processes have actually been adversely affected by actually going through those sort of exercises. The other thing is, there are larger concentrations of blood vessels within a woman's body than a man's body. There is also the aspect of, if they're captured, men are stupid. And you pull a couple of fingernails out of a woman's, they will scream, and the white knight syndrome will kick in, regardless of how strong a person is. There are multiple reasons why you wouldn't want a woman in the combat roles, and it's not because some of them can't do the role. Yes, some of them can. It's just the benefits far outweighed by the adverse effects of it.
Well, that's why in G.I. Jane, that's why he didn't want her in there. Was, because she was going to be a Navy SEAL, and he didn't want her in there, and he tried everybody in the world to make her quit, and that was why. It wasn't because he didn't think she could do the job. It was because he knew what he had this idea of what it would be like if she got captured, how much danger it would put the other people in, and what would happen to her and stuff. It was,
The capture
What
is
if they're
actually a long
operating?
one.
What if they're operating artillery? Excuse me, operating artillery behind the lines, or they're in planes dropping bombs, or I mean, those are combat roles, right?
They're combat roles, yes.
So what would be wrong with women flying planes and operating weapons and aircraft?
If
Or
they
the
get shot
Navy,
down,
for example.
yeah, if they get shot down, how is this escape and evasions? A man can actually push harder than a woman can, but
push what
again,
harder?
it's a physical aspect of it. You'll find the
Well, you're saying in
unfortunate thing.
general, right? Because not all women
This is generalized.
and
Yeah,
men are equally strong.
yeah. You will have anomalies. You will always have. There
There
will
are
be
a few
women
men
that are stronger than women.
There are a few men I can whoop. I know.
Yeah, there are women out there that can kick my ass, and I'm 6'4", and I'm
Wow.
but I'm
I mean,
very much aware of it. But that they're anomalies. But you allow anomalies for the majority. When you actually are recruiting, you actually have to look at the majority, not the anomalies.
I have a niece that is in the military. She was stationed in Saudi Arabia for 2 years. She is a mechanic on the what's the big helicopter? The Black Hawk.
Which one? That's not the big one.
She's on the Black Hawk, I think, is what it is. That's the one she's on. The Black Hawk. Not the one that transports. Like that. Not that big. Do they still have the Huey, or whatever it is?
Huey's is a small one.
Intro things. It's not our.
Okay, because I guess the MASH is probably the last helicopters I remember. But I think she's on a Black Hawk.
Does it just carry people?
I think so. She sent me a picture like of her whole, like their whole crew and their whole whatever on it. No, there's like a whole bunch of them standing on it, but she's a mechanic on it. I know. This is pretty cool. And she went to Saudi Arabia.
I
So,
know. I'll go to bed soon.
Oh.
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
You can probably hear the purrs already.
Oh. Well, I don't want to keep you guys. It's been an hour and 16 minutes. I figured that's good. That's a perfect amount of time for people to want to watch
I brought some stuff over here that I was going to show you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Me. Oh, he's just ready with the pictures.
That's a little in.
This is a pinnacle. A pentagram is this star with no circle around it. If it's got a circle around it, it's called a pinnacle. And if it's no circle, it's a pentagram. And it has like 5 points. You got air and earth,
Wind and fire.
fire, and water, and this is spirit up here. And like air is north, I think. Let's see. I know fire is south, so air is north, and then water is west, and earth is east. That's and like you always, and then you have
If that's a wicked one, it's spirit above all.
oh.
Yeah. If it's the wicked one, it should be spirit above all. So it should be spirit for north.
Well, like if you do just the four directions though, we always did that. You know what I mean? You're supposed to put the 4 directions that way with the ceremonial magic and the planetary magic. This is my wand,
Wow.
which I have a wooden one too that I made, but this is like a solid. It's like stones. And then I got this big old, I've got like 4 or 5 of these great big things full of rocks of all these different. I spent a fortune at the rock store. I've got like one little bitty one that's some kind of Herkimer diamond. It was like $30 just for one rock.
Wow.
Yes.
Can you cast a spell on Missing Mod real quick?
No, please don't.
Hoodoo, I go. The hoodoo. These are hoodoo stuff. This is floral water from like down there, Florida water, cologne. Do you ever see Gone with the Wind?
Yes.
And she takes that stuff out and she like puts it on her. Remember?
Oh, right.
And then gargles with it. And that's what she was using was Florida water. Right here.
That was to get rid of the alcohol smell before she met Rick Butler.
Yeah, it's like cologne. It's what it is. It's cologne, and that's what she was using, Florida water. And it's supposed to you're supposed to use it to like like use it on stuff, and it takes like any kind of negative energies off. But that's what I love that movie. That's my daughter's named after Tara. My daughter's name's Tara, so she was named after the farm.
Does that smell, Robin? Does it smell?
A little bit. It's cologne. I mean, that's what it is. It's cologne. It smells sort of like a softer version of what's that old stuff? Old Spice or something like that.
Okay.
Floral water. It's made with you put like flowers in it and stuff to make it. I've seen the recipe for it.
I thought she said Florida water. I was going to
That's
say
what
I
thought.
Oh, it's like $5 or $6 for this little ball.
Swamp water.
I collected swamp water. I went to because I went to New Orleans or Monroe, Louisiana is where I went, and I got out there and I collected some. I got there in like some little creek like thing, and make sure no. And I was out there dipping water out and brought because I had like water from storms and spring storms and winter storms and winter. I mean, just what I mean, because everything had an intention, and so I collected. I had jugs of water, or bottles of water everywhere. And like, this right here is moon water. It's like full moon water, and I always used to put like a stone in it or whatever, but I would leave it sitting out all night. And this is the chalice. You always had a chalice. This is like the water, element for water. My big chalice.
Mm.
If nothing else, you could just hit him over the head with that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it weighs like 20 grams. And then this big bell, like I won't ring it, but there's a like a bell is supposed to clean out, if you got any kind of energies or something. Shh.
Robin, you're not meant to show your dingling on YouTube.
Yeah, that thing right there. It's like a big church bell or something. That's the loudest bell. I stole that from my mom. I didn't really steal it, but I found it in her stuff. I was like, I'm taking this bell, and she didn't know what I was going to do with it. But actually, my mother knew after she found out about my witchcraft, and actually, she was more upset over me becoming an atheist than she was a witch.
I could see why. Wait, well, was your mom religious?
Oh yes. My mom is very religious. My mom is a missionary Baptist. We went to the same church about 3 blocks from here all my life. They still do. Everybody I know does. Everybody in my family does.
Oh. So what happened? What made you want to not go that direction? You wanted to be, I guess. Yeah, I was about to say I might have used the wrong word there.
I just don't. Like I said, I never believed in hell growing up at all. My mom and dad. My mom didn't push believe. They didn't really put the fear of hell in you. You know what I mean?
Well,
my mom, she wasn't planning on going to hell anybody else. She knew going, so she wasn't going to talk about hell. You know what I mean? But ever since I was a little kid, I would be like, I can't believe in hell. I just can't square that. So.
There's Big Bad Mama's voodoo doll there.
I have like stuff. I never had done never did cursing, but I have some stuff. Like I have some coffin nails or something like that. Old rusty coffin nails I ordered, and like hair. I actually collected hair from my ex, the one that ran off. Because you're supposed to if you do a spell, you're supposed to put their hair in there. So I got it out of his brush. Yeah.
Have you ever met anybody that's had a curse backfire on them, or heard any stories like that, or?
Oh yeah, I've heard lots of stories. I don't know anybody. I can't say that I have any personal experience of anybody having backfired a spell. I did the spells to manipulate his free will, and so if anybody could have got, something back at him, that was it right there. That was really what, was considered to backfire on you is, manipulation of free will. I backfired. He left, so I guess but I don't think that had anything to do with it. I think he would have left anyway.
Yeah. I don't want to be inappropriate or anything, but I know one thing that'll work. It's not a spell, but I'm not even going to say it. I shouldn't even have said that.
What?
I don't know.
Nothing.
Big Man Mama, you missed the beginning of this.
Yeah.
I did. I'm sorry.
Where were you?
Asleep.
And I didn't even say all of it because I didn't say everything on here. But I'll tell you later, Big Man Mama, about it. But because I don't want everybody to know about it. Is I had an ex that I tried to make come back with Majick, and I did bring him back twice. I thought with Majick. Once I paid
Wow.
$700 for a spell.
Wow.
My boss was like, "Please don't do this. Please don't do this." I borrowed the money. I borrowed the money from him, and he was, of course, he was going to take down my check. He was on. Please don't do this.
Oh, kitty.
I
Beamsy's
did.
kitty.
But then the next time after he left again, I decided I had to learn how to do it myself. I couldn't afford no more $700 spells.
Did you tell
Man.
that story earlier, Robin?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'll go back and listen.
Yeah, it's been really good. I've enjoyed this. I'm really glad that you guys came on.
Yeah,
Thank
this
you.
is what I'm dealing with at the moment. That she wants sleepies. Because you
Aw.
can probably see by the clock, it's 4 a.m. now.
My main thing is, it wasn't just because I started being an atheist. Just I started listening about skepticism. Matt Dillahunty, which most people don't like Matt, and he can be a real butt, but he does think good. he don't always talk good. You know what I mean? But he does think well. Just skepticism. You know what I mean? I just sat down, and every belief I had, I would sit and think, is this justified? Am I justified? And why do I believe this? And I realized that, like anything like this right here, everything that I believed, the only reason why I believed it was confirmation bias. It was just because everything that had happened that supported it, I accepted. And every miss I had not counted.
Yeah. Yeah, I
So,
don't know.
Robin, you don't believe any of it's supernatural anymore currently,
I believe in nothing supernatural.
right?
I can't prove there is no supernatural, but I don't believe in anything supernatural. I mean, my mom the other day asked me, she said, "Where do you think you go when you die?" I said, "I think I die." And she said, "Don't you want to go to heaven?" I said, "I hope there's a heaven for you and my mama and papa and my daddy." I said, "Me, I don't really know what I do for eternity up there. I mean, after like 5,000, 10,000 years, how long, I don't even like biblical God, so I can't see me worshiping him for eternity." And I said, "And all my friends would be somewhere else." So my mom about died, like that. So, but she shouldn't have asked. Well, she
Aw.
asked. So we just don't usually talk about it. So that's usually how we stay out of that. You know what I mean?
Well, that's nice. At least she's
But
not
she
like one of
asked.
those that'll beat you with the Bible, That's my mom. My mom would literally physically hit people, which is crazy. But she was
Well, my
With
crazy.
a
mom was
Bible?
like that when I was little.
No, not with her hands.
I'm bigger than her now. I'm quite a bit bigger than her, and she knows she knows she can't bite off none of this. But I mean, and my dad won't let us. My dad won't let her. Like, if she brings up something or something, my dad will go shh. Or if I say something, I mean, every now and then, like politics or anything, like we're around and one of us snips off something, he'll say shh. Like, don't start that shit right now.
That's funny. That's how my dad was too.
Yeah.
He just didn't want to hear about it.
No, he don't want to have one hear about it either. I mean, he thinks that, he thinks I'm wrong, but he don't say anything about it.
Yeah. Yeah, see, that's how I think God wants it too, is he wants it to be your choice. You get to do, not forcing people into anything, so you can do it if you want, right? But that's the luxury of being in America, I guess, because you could be in the Middle East where you're forced to you get stoned to death if you don't wear a turban. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
I don't have any trouble with people having religion. I don't. I really don't. I mean, everybody in the world should have freedom of thought. You know what I mean? We should be, when you're born in this world, you should be free to think without danger of losing your life over what you think.
Yeah.
Your actions are different, but what you think and what you believe, everybody should be allowed that.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
I mean,
with
there are
that.
Christians in the United States that would want to see some sort of a Christian nation where they would want to have their country like a Middle Eastern country, except with Christianity.
Yeah.
No, not me. I'm not like that. I
I
am
mean,
not
there
like
are.
that.
You're right. You're right. There are, and I don't have no more use for them than I do any other. Would try to tell me what to think. I mean, I think we should be able to marry who we love, believe what
Right.
we believe,
Yeah,
and we
I
should
would be
have bodily autonomy.
I would be
Free
stoned to
basic.
death long ago if the rules applied. I would have been stoned to death the other day with Mark. It's kind of ironic that his name
Well,
is
no, I
Stony.
told you, I kind of thought Mark, okay, he just wouldn't let that go.
Yeah, I thought it was a little much. It's like once I said I wasn't going to answer, you should just keep it moving. Like just let
That
it
is
go.
kind of the rule of these streams, is once you say you don't want to talk about something, people are supposed to kind of move on after that.
Especially when there's like a whole bunch of other people on the stream that never got to say a word.
I started to think about it, and I'm like, I bet you he was just doing that because I came in there and disrupted, so he was just trying to give me a hard time. But
y'all were being nice. Actually, you were being nice.
She poked the bear a couple times right at the beginning. I listened to the entire thing.
I know. I listened to it last night again, just because I listened to that last night, and I listened to something else just so I could kind of, I don't know, brush up on what I was going to say today. But he just wouldn't let. He was like a dog on a bone.
I know, and I'm usually really mean
turtle.
too, but I'm never mean to him.
He's like a snapping turtle. He would not let it go.
Yeah. I know, and then that's why when he started to bring it up here, I was just like, "Oh no, please don't do this again." Because it's like he's like, "Oh, my friends." It's like they're my friends too, jerk. Like you just got back.
That's good. He came on your channel though.
Yeah, I was surprised, but he still can't see my comments, so he still hasn't unblocked me. So
she had to make Beamsy a mod so he could get in.
So yeah, I'm screwed now, guys. No.
Don't you have it the other way around, because you're the one that wrenched me?
I know. I do that to myself all the time. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I trust you. I mean, what are you going to do? Ban Mark? Please do. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. Yeah, I don't care. He can leave me blocked. I'm not even going to ask him anymore. It's his problem or his loss or something. I don't know. My loss, I guess.
Well, you've never had a problem creating a troll account, so
Yeah,
no, I haven't.
10 of them.
And if the name is hilarious, then it's me. So I got to start changing that, I guess.
It only takes a couple of comments. We figure it out anyway.
Oh yeah, one comment, I figure it out.
What? No, it ain't that easy, is it?
Well, it's the only negative comment against Mark in the entire chat. So it's like, yeah, this is real difficult to figure out who this is.
Well, it could be any Hovenite, I guess.
And then it's just like a square with a letter in the center for the avatar. And it's like, yeah, this person put a lot of care into their...
Actually,
I usually do.
You're probably meaner to him than most of the other Hovenites are.
Well, I like to give him a hard time, but I mean, I'm not mean like I am to some of the other ones, like Billy, the truck driving Billy. I've been very mean to him. I'm pretty much mean just in general, I guess. I'm sorry.
And Billy's such a sweetheart.
Oh.
She was after
sweetheart. Yeah, sweetheart. He is a nice guy, but when it comes to Kent, I'm just like, want to pummel him.
Here's my cat, Beamsy.
Kitty.
Oh,
look, she is 3 years old. Look how little she is.
Aww.
She's like the size of a kitten.
she's a sweetie.
Not really. She knocked my light over.
Oh.
I have a lot of pets. I have a dog over there, Hope. She is a Catahoula leopard dog with a lazy boy. And I have 2 rats. I had 3, and one of them died last week. I have a snake, a bearded dragon, and a gecko.
Oh,
cool.
I have a ball python. A ball python.
Oh, okay, cool.
How big is it?
I can probably go get her. She's only like a year and a half or something like
So she's
that.
a baby.
She's not quite grown yet.
Aw. What are you gonna do when it gets really big?
She won't get real big. Ball pythons don't.
Oh, okay.
6 feet, maybe at the most.
No, she'll probably get about 4 feet, I think. Or something
Okay, they get
Oh.
thick. They get kind of thicker.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
She just like curls up around your, like if I go get her, she'll just like twist up around my arm. I mean, that's what she wants to do. She just wants to roll around everything all the time.
Whoa, that's neat. What is that? What kind of
That's
snake
a
is that?
leucistic. That's a leucistic carpet python.
Neat.
Oh, I've seen carpet pythons in Australia in the wild. It's cool.
Yeah, but that's a leucistic one. So that's why you can't see the markings. It's literally black and glossy. She's wonderful.
I can't
Beautiful.
remember what morph mine is. Banana something. She's.
So you been to Australia, Big Bad Mama? Did you go to the atheist Jerusalem?
No, I've been 3 times, but I've never been up to Darwin. But I've been to New South Wales, Queensland, and Victoria, and what's the other one that's south? South Australia,
New
whatever the
South Wales.
state is. Yeah, no, the one that's like west of Victoria,
South Australia.
South Australia. Yeah. So I've been to 4 states, if that's what they call them. Provinces or states, Beamsy?
States.
States, yeah. I've been around.
Somebody
I want to go.
somebody the other day told me that that they put a lot of like prisoners in Australia, and that's basically where the population came from. I don't know. I asked Aiden. I don't remember what he said, but I think he said it was true. I don't know.
I think there's some truth to that, right, Beamsy? They brought them into Botany Bay and into Tasmania.
Well,
From
that
Britain.
time, yeah, it was actually a penal colony originally for the first 50 years of existence.
The turtle.
Oh,
That's leucistic fly river turtle. That's Luna.
that's a common name in
That's a beautiful turtle.
Yeah,
She's fully leucistic, so that's why she still has her black eyes.
So
What's
she's
that?
yours?
Yeah,
So
Aw,
was it snake yours too?
yeah.
So you're like me, you got a whole zoo going on.
I have
only
one
got the
cat.
3.
I got a dog and he kills everything, so yeah.
There's the camera killer.
Oh,
Yeah, mine just flipped my light over. That's what she did. She walked over and was like rubbing up against my light.
yeah. Animals don't really
And-
like people on computers. I find, they like to
Well,
bug
she
you
was
Why
on
do you
your
think I'm being clawed?
She was trying to rub her face against my light, and it's not very sturdy. The cat
Big
likes
Bad-
the rat and the bearded dragon. She likes to mess with them too.
There's Snowy. Oh, so cute. Look at them pretty blue eyes. I just think about that picture that you sent me. I just love it.
I'd probably
Aw.
have. I'll be the old cat lady probably one of these days.
Well, you've got the crazy part down, Pat.
Yes, I got into it with somebody on Facebook the other day, and that guy said something. He said, "Go feed your cats, lady."
Oh,
That's a compliment.
I know, but I mean, he was like MAGA something or another. You know what I mean? And we was arguing. And he said, "Hey, go feed your cats, lady."
Yeah, well, I actually do volunteer work with a reptile rescue place around here. That's why I've got 2 incredibly rare reptiles, because you can't let them go again, and they originally were being taken to be sold. So I'm only looking after them until I can actually find them a better home.
Oh, I'd be scared. All y'all's animals are just like so like animals on steroids out there. Everything's deadly, isn't it? Just about.
Well, Luna is actually from the Fly River in Northern Territory, and if she was sold, she would be worth about $250,000.
Oh my gosh!
wow.
Wow.
Yeah, because she's leucistic and shell is about 10 inches, so she's a decent size.
Boy,
What does
Orange,
that
I
mean?
would love her.
Yeah, he's got a lot of
But you
snakes,
can't.
huh?
He's got a bunch of
But
snakes.
unfortunately, I can't actually let her back in the wild because she won't survive.
Yeah.
It's just one of those unfortunate things. I've got to find a better place for so I'm looking around at some of the zoos to send her off to.
Aw. Well, that's cool. I've never had a snake, but I've had an iguana before. Well, I had a water dragon and an iguana, not at the same time, but those are the only two reptiles I've ever had. And then I got some cats and a dog, and that's it. Oh, and I got one chicken left.
I had that bearded dragon, and my mom had a friend come over a couple months ago, and after she left, she said, "I told her that y'all had a Komodo dragon," and I said, "A what?" I said, "We don't have a Komodo dragon." And Mom was like, "What is it?" I said, "It's a bearded dragon." She said, "What's the difference?" I said, "I don't know, maybe 1,000 pounds. I don't know." She said her friend was like, "Where do they keep it at?"
Yeah,
Komodo
right.
dragon.
We got a Serpentarium and Gatorland. See, that's what I want to go to Australia for, is to see the crocodiles, because they're huge there. The biggest ones in the world, apparently.
The
And
salties.
yeah. What?
You want to go see old Bruce?
Wait. What's that? Because
Old Bruce.
I seen
He's
something years ago about a big crocodile that you could get in like a big not a cage, but a tank, and basically be in the water with him. I don't know if that's what you're
There's a
talking
guy
about,
in Florida that has them that you can get in there with crocs and alligators. Steve, I think is his name. Gator World.
I don't know. I'd have to look into
Yeah,
that.
they train them from some of them, but they rescue, like if somebody calls and has one, they want it taken. It's in like they're close to their house or something.
Yeah.
They go capture them, but then he trains them like to when they tap their nose, they're like above their snout right there or whatever. That's when they'll open their mouth to eat. He trains them to eat like that. They just eat when they get tapped on the.
Huh. That's cool.
And and he shows them on there. It's pretty cool. I watch him all the time. He swims on it and puts his hand down there and everything else. Every now and then, though, they try to sneak up on him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's watching them.
They'll always be doing that. Oh wow, that's a huge crocodile.
He's bigger now.
Oh, and he's missing an arm.
Yeah, that's
actually there's a video though on from I think it's India or something where 4 crocodiles, like there was a pack of wild dogs and they were chasing one wild dog, and those 4 crocodiles got that one dog across the water away from the other pack and let him loose.
Man, that is amazing. These guys don't even know what the danger they're in. I guess it's not really that much. I mean, but they don't. It's not like they get used to humans to where they won't eat them.
Oh, if he had a chance, he would eat everyone on that boat.
Is that thing alive?
Oh,
yes.
Yeah.
I mean, because I rode in an airboat down in the Everglades, and we were told not to put our hands outside the boat.
Why do you think it's got the fence around the outside of the boat?
Yes, because the guy's got like a piece of chicken or something there. That's what he's jumping up for.
My God, that thing's huge.
See, the one that... Oh, go ahead.
The dinosaur.
The one that I seen... See, that's why I like them. I think they're like dinosaurs. But, the one that I seen in Australia, it was huge. It was much bigger than that one. I mean, this was years ago, though, so I don't know. It could be dead by now. I know they lived for a long time, but I don't know how old it was then either.
They lived how long did they live? Like
pretty good while. I'm not really sure exactly.
I was thinking like 400 years. Where'd I get that at?
Yeah, I don't think it's that long, but I don't know.
Misty Mod, your chicken is a dinosaur.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. You have a dinosaur.
A T-Rex, I know. No, that's a rooster. Actually, I think would be the T-Rex. But I'm just
No,
joking
T-Rexes
about that
can
kind
just
of.
become males.
There you go.
well,
That's the one you're probably thinking of.
well, what the heck do they do with their arms? Like, oh, okay, yeah. Let me see.
I think a raptor probably became a chicken. Probably closer to a raptor.
Okay, let me see.
If you click on the cage of death, you can actually see the.
Yep, that's it. That's it. That's the one. Okay, let me see.
I mean, the emu. If you think about it, that's a dinosaur right there. Emus. I mean, look.
Yeah, because think about their arms.
The emus defeated the Australian army.
Twice.
I like to mess with Mark Reed all the time. I'm like, yeah, but y'all got whooped by a bunch of birds. We're not counting on y'all.
Do they look happy? He looks happy.
Yeah, if you go up to the top of the screen of the tab there and go to the cage of death, there's some better pictures for you.
Where's that located, Beamsy?
Darwin.
Oh, okay.
For
That
real?
would be great.
The atheist Jerusalem. That's where it's at. I never knew. I'm just kidding. I'm just saying that because Aiden said it and it was funny.
Yeah, there's.
Oh, his hand's missing too.
Atheists are not going to name their holy place Jerusalem.
I know. It's just supposed to be funny. Aiden was messing with Mark one day. Mark Reed.
We would think of something way better than Jerusalem.
And he was doing
Missy Model, see you later.
Toys. I'm gonna end it here shortly.
Bye, again. All right.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah, but as you can see, Brutus is bigger than all them, and he's just huge.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. See, this one doesn't look as big as that one that I seen a long time ago, but that's it. That's the same place.
If you scroll down, they've got 4 different crocs that actually go through that area.
So they're like, it's just a place where they catch them in the wild, sort of like, or something.
It's an actual farm.
Oh, okay.
I just love the way they look. They're just so cool looking. Cause see, I live in Florida, so I've been to Gatorland a bunch, and there ain't nothing big like
Gator World,
Gatorland. They had a white one there not too long ago. I mean, all white and it had blue eyes. Amazing.
Oh, the baby.
No, that's an albino.
Yeah, and it was full grown.
Oh, okay. There was a baby one born like not too long ago. It was like so rare. A white one. He wasn't albino, I guess, was it? It was just that white.
Leucistic, like Luna.
Yeah, it was on the news everywhere.
Isn't it? It looks like it's open on the bottom too. That tank. You think? Nah, probably not.
Kind of. It's a mesh cage.
Yeah, because see, I don't think they do. They're not really aggressive under the water, like they are outside.
Who told you that?
Well, I mean,
Who told you that?
I'm not saying that they're not, but it's not that common. Like they attack outside of the water because they do have lungs and breathe air. I seen a documentary one time about a guy that was snatched off the shore or something, and I don't know what made him how he knew to do this, but he just reached into the back of his throat and pushed that flap down, and he instantly let go. So I mean, it would probably be pretty easy for something like that to happen if they were going to attack underwater, but I imagine to have people come and visit, they definitely would have it all the way down. But yeah, I don't know.
See in that picture you got out there, you can see they're actually standing on it. They do attack underwater. They
I mean, their nostrils and their eyes are right on top of their head anyway. So they all they gotta have is just a little tippy top out of the water to be can breathe and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, they just roll you.
And if you saw the pictures of Brutus, he actually eats sharks. So yeah, he does take things underwater.
Yeah, wow. I guess you'd have to. Oh, that's cute. Look at him holding it. Well, it looks like he's holding it, but his hand's gone.
Yeah.
I watched a video the other day where an orca killed a great white.
Well, there's a full article for Brutus if you want to have a look. In the first picture there, you'll actually see He's eating a bull shark.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna check that one out.
Yeah, that's Brutus again. That's the big boy.
Good for him.
Yeah, I love alligators. Oh,
It's
I
a
got
croc,
allow
right?
ads. Yeah,
They're
crocodiles too.
crocodiles.
Yeah, I think they're both awesome.
I
Like,
think the crocs are a little bigger though, sort of.
yeah, they do get bigger.
And more aggressive.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they live with hippos. Like, I don't know if you ever watched videos like hippos. Hippos will go off on crocodiles. Like if a croc gets, you know what I mean? If a croc gets in there and it kind of, the hippos don't like it there. Hippos are mean, so mean. They're like the most aggressive animals.
Yeah. Sorry, I got to
The thing
turn my ad
is-
blocker off here.
Yeah, the thing is, they're Nile crocodiles. Whereas what we've got here are saltwater crocodiles or estuarine crocodiles, and they're bigger still.
Bigger, yeah.
Yeah, don't they have the biggest ones in the world there in
Yeah.
Australia?
There's a
They-
world record holder for, on YouTube if you want to have a look at him.
So I said all their animals are on steroids.
Wow.
Everything they got, spiders and snakes and everything.
Yeah.
See, there's the bull shark that he's munching on,
Wow.
and that would have been underwater. So yeah, they do take prey underwater.
Yeah, man. Orcas are. I don't know. They remind me more of like a giant dolphin. You know, the way they
are
can
dolphins.
get
Because they are.
out.
They are dolphins.
Oh, I thought they called them like a whale or something different.
They call them that, but that's not what they are. They're dolphins. They're a species of dolphin.
They're the
Yeah.
largest porpoise, if you want their exact classification.
Porpoise. Yeah.
And they're so smart. It's
They are very
amazing.
smart. The one I saw kill the great white, it turned it upside down. And you know, like a shark cannot be still. A shark has to keep moving through the water. They cannot like stop.
Yeah.
They
Depending
never
on the
stop.
shark.
And if they get turned upside down, it paralyzes them. Like
Yeah, I've heard that before.
And that's what that orca did. She ran in and she just flipped that thing up, and until it died, she kept it upside down.
Well,
Yeah,
I know.
it depends on the shark. There's
This
There's
was a huge
different-
great white.
I'm sure you guys have seen them documentaries where they have like seals or on like the ice, you know, like the big pieces of ice up there in like the Antarctic or wherever it's at, and the whales will work together and swim in what do you call that, where they one right after another, so they're not in order, they're not like in a line, but they're like, you know, I don't know how to describe it, but they literally knock the thing off of the ice and then get the seal. It's amazing. I mean,
they hit the ice. They line up and hit the ice all at once.
yeah.
And it makes the seal bounce off the ice. I seen them
Yeah.
doing that.
Yeah,
Because
that's
it
amazing.
breaks the ice open too. Where they can get. There was a thing today. There was a bunch of them that were stuck in all right, there was some ice that had broken loose from the cap, and they were hung in it. Like there was like a whole pod of them stuck in there, and they finally got them out today. It was like up in Japan, around Japan somewhere. But there was like a whole pod of them because they stay with their mothers forever.
Yeah.
I mean, they're like the mother, the grandmother, and the daughters and the sons and everything will be together forever. They just stay together.
Sometimes the males will go off on their own, like the what
But
do they
they
call
still
them?
come back though. Most time, I think, from what I
Yeah.
read, they still come back. They just might go off and breed.
Like elephants. Elephants do that too. They stay together, but the males sometimes will go off on their own. I don't know. I think it's probably because they're pretty aggressive and they probably don't like the other males, but I don't know. Do they do that in lion prides too?
Well, they have to go out and breed somewhere though. Almost every animal has got an instinct not to interbreed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, they don't think about it, but it's like they know better than to breed too close to family.
Yeah.
It's just,
Which
you know,
is
what I mean,
smart.
it's wired into it.
Well, it's definitely smart. Well, I mean, I don't like my family either, so
Unless you're from Kentucky.
that's what
Yeah.
I've heard, but I don't know.
Well,
That's what we're
Bruce is
fighting
still
for.
alive, and he's now 22 feet long.
Wow. Wow. How long do they live? Do you see that anywhere? Like whatever you're looking at? I don't know.
It depends, because most of the time, big ones either can't catch their prey anymore, or they lose their teeth.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
in the
like
wild.
sharks must live for a really long time then, since they grow theirs back. I don't
No,
know.
sharks don't actually live that long. They go for about 40 years at most. Whereas in crocs can go for about 120, 130 before they start losing their teeth.
Wow.
But Brutus is about 80, so he's got about another 40 or 50 years left in him. So he might top out. The largest croc ever found was 32 feet.
Wow.
Golly.
That's huge. That
Yeah,
is huge.
they're monsters when they're let to grow.
Yeah.
And because Brutus is actually fed on a regular basis, he'll probably live longer than that and get bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
pretty
they go a long
amazing.
time without eating.
Now, yeah, they basically are like, that's what I've always thought. They're like living dinosaurs, like lizards too, like, I don't know. Because you see what they say that dinosaurs look like in the movies and stuff. That's all I knew as a kid, I didn't really know,
They had feathers, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing, but
They wouldn't put feathers on them. The third Jurassic Park movie, that's when they had first dug up the feather deal. They had just kind of learned then that there actually should have been feathers on them. And I saw where they called and talked to the production crew, about it and everything, and they refused to put feathers on there.
But does that mean all of them had to have feathers? I mean,
No, some of like Triceratops and stuff didn't have really feathers. They might have had some kind of just different. The feather, there's so many different stages of feather that different evolution sections of feather, and some of them had different sections of it. But some of them had pretty good feathers.
Hmm.
Well, I'm going to go lovely and leave you. It's now 4:30 in the morning. I'm glad you enjoyed the crocodiles.
Yes, I
Thank you,
did.
Beamsy.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
If you want to get terrified by wildlife in Australia, I can go through them one day.
Yeah, I was gonna say you should come on. You should come on some more because you got a lot of information. I enjoyed both of you guys. Thank you both for coming on. I really appreciate that.
That's for Daniel.
Thank you.
Have a good night or morning.
Morning. It's night for him. Or morning is morning.
Yeah.
Thanks, Miss Maud. I don't know. Did you have any more questions you wanted to ask? I know we got to talk about everything but magic.
Pretty much. Well, I mean, if I think of anything else, we'll just have it. You come on again or something whenever you got time.
But if you have any trouble with something magic related, you call me or you get hold of me. You know what I mean?
I will too, because I do have a lot of questions and stuff that I would have gotten into, but I kind of just don't, I don't want to answer any of Mark's questions at all. So I was just planning on just,
Well, I mean, I was raised like that too. I mean, I was, that was something to be scary, but, I always thought which I was always told it was, the devil or something, you know what I mean? But, most of it is just manipulation. They think they're manipulating energy. They believe in to get prosperity and stuff. Very maybe 1/5 of all witches are worried about trying to put some kind of spell on people.
Yeah, see, that's the experience that I have now. I didn't do it, but I just ran into some online.
I mean, most of witches, are doing stuff to help their own life, is what they think. They're prosperity spells or healing spells or beauty spells or, there's even one spell. I have a spell in my book, and I never did try it, that it's supposed to actually change your eye color.
Wow. Huh. Well, that'll make you a believer for sure.
I never did try it, but I was always planning to, when I got better, you know what I'm saying? But
yeah, I would just, I don't know. I, of course, I always tell Big Bad Mama, I'm like, please get rid of that voodoo doll. I mean, he said that he has it just because it's cool or whatever, but I'm just like, just don't risk it. You know, I don't know. That's just me.
Well, the
I
doll, you have to actually, the doll is not what it is. You have to actually do the work to make the doll come to life, like, you know what I mean, or not come to life, but you have to, like, there's a whole lot thing you go through, ritual you go through to turn the doll supposedly into somebody. You know what I mean? It don't just happen. You have to, like, sit down and you have to, like, name it, and you have to do all this, like, the stuff to it, and
yeah.
it's just it's a big ritual to actually make the doll represent a person, supposedly.
Do they usually make their own, or is it common to just buy one?
No,
Like, can
people. I mean, tourist stuff is the buy ones. I mean, you can order them. You know, now I can order, voodoo dolls or skull candles. Skull candles are a big thing. Like if you're trying to do a manipulation of somebody's mind, you know what I mean, to do what you want them to do. A skull candle.
Yeah.
You put herbs in it and everything, and you burn it, but you.
Yeah. Sorry, I thought somebody just got here. I don't know. I heard something out there.
Well,
It's
let's
probably
go. We can go.
okay. Well, thank you so much for coming. It was very fun, and I'm just glad we did it.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. Okay, everybody. Thank you so much for coming, and until next time, Missing Mod is out. God bless.